Hey there, Geometry. Mr. Lamb coming to you with page 3. Remember, I did tell you to skip number 9. There was some information missing in question number 9. So we're just going to look at 3 problems here, 8, 12, and 13. Problem 8, I'm looking for the height of the 2 buildings. So I'm going to call this building on the left, height is L for the left building. And the height of the building over here, I'm going to call R. So I have R, the height of the right building, and I have L, the height of the left building. And the nice thing is, as I look at R, I can see that R is actually going to be L, the height of my little building, plus some more. So we'll get to that here in a minute. So let's take a look at how do we find L, the height of the little building. I see that I have a right triangle down here, and I have one side is 100. And I'm looking for an angle that's inside of it. And you can do a couple of things here. You can look at this top angle and say that top angle is 42 plus something has to equal 90. But I'm going to use alternate interior angles. Angle of depression is equal to angle of elevation. So my angle of depression of 42 degrees will also be an angle of elevation coming from the bottom. So I'm looking for L. So as I look at 42 degrees, I see that L is my opposite side and 100 is my adjacent side. So that tells me O and A, I'm going to be using the tangent. So the tangent of 42 degrees is equal to the opposite, which is L, over the adjacent, which is 100. So to get L by itself, I have to multiply both sides by 100. So 100 times the tangent of 42 equals L, the height of the left building. Type that into your calculator, and it wants us to round to the nearest foot. So L, 100 times tangent of 42, rounded to the nearest foot is 90 feet. Okay, that is L. Okay, so to find R, I can see over here, I have R as the height of this big building on the right. Well, this big building over here is actually L plus a little extra. That extra, I'm just going to call that X for now, because I'm going to find out what the extra is on top of that 90 feet. So I know this, it's over 90 feet. So I'm going to look at the triangle up here in the top right. Again, I know this side is still 100 feet. The buildings are still 100 feet apart. That's not going to change. So X, if this is my angle, X is my opposite. 100 is my adjacent. So again, I have the tangent. So now I have the tangent of 28 equals the opposite, X, over the adjacent 100. Multiply both sides by 100, so 100 times the tangent of 28 is equal to X. So X, if I type that into my calculator, I'll find out that X is approximately 53 feet. However, this doesn't ask me for X, so it asks me for R, the height of the right building. I know that the height of the right building, R, is the X plus the height of the left building, which we called L. So in this case, R is 90 plus 53, or the right building is 143 feet tall. So I would be looking for the height of the right building and the height of the left building. Those would be the two values that I would be looking for there. Okay, skip over 9. When we get down here to 12 and 13, these are what we did on that final day. That final day we talked about the sine and the cosine. We said that the sine of one angle is equal to the cosine of another angle if those two angles are complementary. And hopefully you remember that complementary means adds up to 90. So 3x plus 18 and 5x have to be complementary angles if the sine is equal to the cosine. It means they have to add up to equal 90. So combine like terms, 3x and 5x is 8x plus 18 is equal to 90. Subtract 18 on both sides. You'll find that 8x is equal to 72. And divide both sides by 8. you will find that x is equal to 9. In the same fashion, number 13 says the sine of one angle is equal to the cosine of another angle. That means those two angles are complementary. So 5x minus 9 and 8x plus 20 have to add together to equal 90. Now when I combine like terms, that is 13x, 8x, and 5x is 13x, negative 9 and 20 is 11, equals 90. Subtract 11 on both sides, 13x equals 79. Divide by 13, and x is equal to 79 divided by 13. And if you're looking for a decimal, this is a decimal that runs on and on and on. The first few digits, 6.0769, so on and so forth. So you could just round that to a couple of decimal points there, or just leave 79 over 13 as your final answer. That does it for page 3. And in the next video, I'll be finishing up with page 4.